Hello, students. Have you ever really thought about what it means to listen to music? I mean, really listen. Well, what if I told you about a world-famous musician who can't hear a single note? At least, not in the way we do. And yet she feels music more deeply than almost anyone. Today, we're going to explore the incredible story of Evelyn Glennie. She's a percussionist whose journey will, I think, it will change the way you think about challenges, determination, and what sound really is.
Let's start with this wonderful quote from a master percussionist, James Blades. He said, "God may have taken her hearing, but he has given her back something extraordinary." You see, this story isn't really about what she lost. It's about what she gained instead. As he says, what we hear, she feels. Now, that's a very powerful idea. So let's try to understand what that really means. So here's how we'll journey through Evelyn's life today. First, we'll talk about her childhood dream. Then we'll look at the challenge she faced, a silent world. After that, we'll see how she learned to feel music, which is just amazing. Then we'll follow her journey to a famous music academy. And finally, we'll understand why she is such an inspiration to all of us. All right, let's begin. Our story doesn't start in a big, fancy concert hall. No, it starts on a quiet farm in Scotland. And it's here that a young girl, Evelyn Glennie, found her passion, her love for music. And this love would, shape her entire life.
I want you to just imagine this for a moment. You're 17. You're standing on a busy train platform, and you're on your way to one of the best music schools in the world, the Royal Academy of Music in London. I mean, that's a dream come true, right? But for Evelyn, this exciting moment, well, it was also filled with a huge hidden challenge. And it's this challenge that makes her story so special. So what was this big challenge we're talking about? It was something that, for most people, would make a career in music seem, well, impossible. The fact is, Evelyn Glennie was profoundly deaf. Now, this didn't just happen all at once. Her hearing loss started slowly when she was just 8 years old. And for a while, she tried to hide it from her friends and her teachers. She just hoped, like any child would, that maybe the problem would just go away by itself. But by the time she was 11, she couldn't hide it anymore. Her marks in school started going down. It was actually her headmistress who noticed something was wrong and told her parents to take her to a specialist. And that's when they got the news. Her hearing was severely damaged because of slow nerve damage. The doctors had some serious advice. They said she should get hearing aids and be sent to a special school for deaf children. Can you imagine hearing that? Evelyn herself described how she felt. She said everything suddenly looked black. Just think about that for a second. Your whole world, especially worlds filled with music, just fading away. But Evelyn was not going to give up. Even in that dark moment, her determination was strong. She absolutely refused to let go of her dream. And this, students, is the part of the story where we see her turn her biggest problem into her greatest strength. So what happened? Well, the big turning point came one day when she saw another girl playing the xylophone. And she just knew she wanted to play it too. Now, most of her teachers thought, a deaf girl playing the xylophone? Impossible. But that one moment, that one decision she made, it changed her life forever. And this is where a good teacher, a mentor, can change everything. A percussionist named Ron Forbes, he saw her potential. He didn't say no. Instead, he had a brilliant idea. He took 2 big drums and he tuned them to 2 different notes. Then he told her something very important. He said, don't listen through your ears. Try to sense it some other way. And suddenly, Evelyn realized she could feel the higher note from her waist up and the lower note from her waist down. Her body was becoming her ears. So what are these vibrations that Ron Forbes was talking about? Well, sound is nothing but vibrations. Think about it. When your school bell rings, you can almost feel it, right? Or if you stand near a big loudspeaker, you can feel the floor shaking under your feet. That's vibration. And Evelyn learned to tune her whole body to feel these vibrations and to understand them as music. And this is what Evelyn said about it herself. She said, I had learnt to open my mind and body to sounds and vibrations. So this discovery was the key that unlocked everything for her. But she also said the rest was sheer determination and hard work. It wasn't just magic. It took a lot of effort. So once she figured out this new way of hearing, Evelyn never looked back. From that moment on, her journey was all about hard work and dedication, and it led her right to the doors of the Royal Academy of Music.
Just look at this timeline for a moment. At 11 years old, she got that terrible news. But only 5 years later, at 16, she was touring the whole United Kingdom with a youth orchestra. Can you believe that? Her progress was just amazing. And it was all because of her determination. And then came the big day, her audition for the Royal Academy of Music. And you know what? She didn't just pass. She got one of the highest marks in the history of the Academy. In that moment, she proved to everyone, and most importantly to herself, that her way of feeling music wasn't a weakness. It was her unique strength. But Evelyn's story doesn't end with getting into the Academy or winning awards. Her real achievement, her legacy, is the inspiration she gives to millions of people all over the world. And her message to all of us is actually very simple but very powerful. She says, if you work hard and know where you're going, you'll get there. That's it. It's all about having a clear goal and the determination to reach it. Her whole life is proof of this. So she became one of the best percussionists in the world. She can play about 1,000 different instruments. But what makes her a true inspiration is that she also gives back. She gives free concerts in places like prisons and hospitals, and she makes it a priority to teach young musicians, sharing her gift with the next generation. Just listen to what Anne Richland, from an organization that helps deaf children, said about her. She is a shining inspiration for deaf children. They see that there is nowhere that they cannot go. This is so important. Evelyn's life shows other children with challenges that their dreams are possible too, that your situation doesn't have to limit you. So, what's the main takeaway from this story? The key message is this. Your challenges do not define your limits. They are not stop signs. It is your effort and your belief in yourself that truly defines what you can achieve. As we come to the end of our lesson, I want to leave you with a question to think about. Evelyn Glennie found her drum, her passion, and learned to listen to it in her own special way. So I ask you, what is your drum? What is your passion? And how can you, just like Evelyn, learn to listen to it and maybe even turn your own challenges into your greatest strengths?